Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a 3D logo from the Google logo. Google, please don't sue me. I know this is your logo, but I'm just going to use it as an example for some 3D modeling. So I'm going to start out by downloading the logo, which I've already done to my downloads. I'm going to full screen Blender here, add in an image as planes, and I'm going to locate that Google logo. There it is. Now if you go into material preview, here it is right here. I'm using the add image as planes add-on for this. So with our logo selected, let's go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees. Rotate on the Y, -90. There we go. So now when we go to our top-down view, we can see this very easily. I'm just going to rotate it one more 90-degree angle so we can look at it from the top-down view. Perfect. So now that we're in our top-down view, let's go ahead and add in some objects. Let's start with a cylinder, and let's scale it down. Also, I'm going to move this over on the X just a little bit. I'm going to try to center this as perfectly as possible. That looks good there. So with our cylinder selected, I'm going to add in a edge split. Where is edge split? And then a subdivision surface. So it should be nice and smooth now. Perfect. Cool. I'm also going to scale this down because I'm going to have this thing be kind of thin. And then back in material preview here. Cool. Awesome. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to first have to cut out a cylinder. So I'm going to actually duplicate this cylinder. Okay. I'm just going to bring it up like this, and I'm going to hide the original. And then I'm going to scale this down to our inner circle like that. That looks good. And then I'm going to scale it on the Z like that. And then I'm just going to cut into our other cylinder with Boolean operation. So I'm going to shift click. Again, I'm using the Bool tool add-on. I'm going to click this one, shift click the other one, Control Shift B, difference. And like that, we have a cut out shape just like that. So now for this inner shape here, what I'm probably going to do is some kind of combination Boolean here. Very first thing I'm going to do is just actually apply everything. I'm going to delete this piece, and then I'm going to add in a cube, scale it down. That looks like about the right width there. Scale it on the X. Bring it over here, and that looks perfect. Now we just need to make sure that it is the proper height here. So I'm going to try my best to match that up. Actually, if I just press N, I should be able to see the exact dimensions of this on the Z. All right, I'm going to go ahead and copy that and make it this. Perfect. And then I'll just zero this out on the Z axis. Oops. Zero this out on the Z axis and this as well. And now they should be perfectly aligned. Cool. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and combine these, and then we'll cut this other area out right here. So I'm going to shift click these two pieces, Control Shift B, union, and then I'm going to figure out how to cut this other piece out right here. So I'm going to hide this for a second, and I'm going to take a look at this piece here. What is this? This is going to be made out of a cube. So I'm going to scale a cube down, bring it like right here, go into edit mode, X-ray mode, bring these down on the Y-axis, and then I'm just going to rotate them. That looks perfect right there. And now we have the piece that is going to cut into our other shape, which is this. So shift-click, Boolean, difference, and as you can see, it's not working. Why is it not working? I might have clicked the wrong shape. Hold on. Here, let's do the union first, and then we're going to shift click here, and that's not working yet. Why is it not working? Should be. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was weird. Okay, for whatever reason that was not working right away, but that is okay. And there we go. All right, so that is pretty much it. We just have to fill in those spaces. I don't know why the Booleans are really tricky, or maybe I'm just bad at them. But there we go. That looks pretty much like the Google logo, and at this point we'll probably start editing it a little bit further, but I want to make sure. Well, let's apply this. And then let's delete this and let's see. Cool. All right, so this is our shape. Let me just hop into edit mode here. Let me go my top-down view. We should just be able to delete any loose vertices. And then for these 4 points here, I believe it's just F to fill. There we go. And we'll do the same over here. Now over here it looks a little bit more complicated, so let's clean up this edge here. All right. We just got to fill this area. Sorry guys, hold on 1 second. We're going to level these all out at, what is it, X? I think it's, no, Y. SY0, perfect. And then we are just going to take this face here. Sorry, edge, not face, guys. Apologies. Why won't it let me select like anything? There's like multiple edges over here. Oh, I see. Okay. 1, 2. Perfect. And then we'll select this last one. And then we should just be able to move them right over on the X. Perfect. All right, guys. Ignore my horrible topology, but this is working. Cool. All right, we're just going to go with this. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this thing up a little bit more. So as you guys can see, there's like different areas in our logo that have color splits. So what I think I'm going to do is just use like a boolean and just cut very thin slices for each part. But before I do that, I need to delete this edge here. Cool. And this edge here. Okay, I thought I saw a stray edge. There we go. All right, we should be good to go. Awesome. All right, so we're going to take this, duplicate it, hide the original. Now that we have this one, we are going to cut into it with a boolean. So I'm just going to add a plane. I'm going to rotate it on the X 90 degrees, and we're going to use this to like cut into everything. So I'm going to scale this down, bring it like over here, and we're going to use this to cut our different angles. But to do this, I'm going to add a solidify modifier, if I can find it, and just apply that. And it's going to be just this thin little thing that cuts right into our logo. So let's go to top-down view, rotate this, and let's just try to match this to our original one. That looks pretty good. Duplicate, Shift D, and rotate it again. And we're just going to try to match it to this one here. That looks good. And then we'll just do that one last time. Rotate it and try to match it to this side here. Cool. So now if we take these, we should be able to join them. Right click, join, and then we'll cut into our cylinder. So let's go ahead with these selected, cut into our cylinder with a difference boolean. And did it work? I think it worked. Oh yeah, it's really hard to tell, but it did work. Those lines are so thin. I think it worked though. Yeah, it did work. Okay, we're good. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and apply that. And now if we go into edit mode, we should be able to separate this by loose parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. And I'm gonna individually hide those so we can make sure the edges are closed off. This one's not for whatever reason, so let me just go ahead and tab into edit mode. And let's go ahead and select these corners. 1, 2, 3. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And delete. Cool. Should be good to go. All right. Again, I'm just making sure all of the corners are closed off. We should be good to go. All right. We'll hide that. And this piece is good. This piece is not good. Let's do the corners again. Again, I'm just selecting all the corners and I'm pressing F. And we're good to go. Awesome. All right, we should be good to go, guys. Let's go ahead to rendered view. Let's go to cycles, GPU, and let's give ourselves a nice little environment texture. You already know. We'll do this one. That's fine. Now we have some actual lighting on our scene here. Fantastic. Now it looks like we have a stray like vertice here or something from, I think it's this one. Cool. If we see that again, we'll fix it. Everything else looks pretty good though. All right, let's actually start adding some colors in here. So I think I want everything to be glass. So I'm just going to bring this reference over here on the X. Awesome. And we're going to make everything glass. So for our top piece here, this is going to be a new glass BSDF with a, I'll just use the exact color or as close as I can get to it. We'll also add a floor plane in here underneath all of this. Perfect. And then for our IOR, I'll do like 1.2 for now. We'll come back to that later. And then all of these, I'm just going to copy the material, except for the floor plane, and I'm going to duplicate each one of these and use my eyedropper tool to select a new color. Duplicate this material and select our new color. Again, we're just kind of piecing this together as we go. And eyedropper tool, new color. Perfect. So now we actually have everything set up with our logo. We have our 3D logo, and now we can start applying some lighting and some cool stuff to the floor as well. So I'm just going to hide our image plane here from render and from viewport, snap to my camera, and let's go ahead and set up a nice shot here. So we're on an orthographic camera right here, which is good. I'm going to do 1080 by 1920 for our dimensions, and then I'm going to move this to the other side. I think I want to be at like a very top-down angle as well. Something like that. Yeah, something like that might be nice. That looks pretty good. Bring our floor up even more. And I think I'm going to make all these pieces thinner. Yeah, something like that looks a lot better. Already it looks a lot better. All right, I'm going to turn off my X and Y axis and my grid floor so that I'm just looking at just my logo. I'm going to zoom in really nice here. And then I think what we're going to do is, let's see if we can, if we shade this auto smooth, I do think it's going to mess it up. No? Okay. Now I do also think we probably won't be able to add any bevel modifier. I probably should have done that to begin with, but I don't think it'll work. Let's just try it. I don't think it's going to work. It's going to work on the ends a little bit, I think. Nope. All right, it's not going to work for us, but that's okay. I mean, this already looks really sharp. Let's go ahead and add in some caustics and stuff like that. Why did I just say that like I have a Boston accent? All right, let's go ahead and raise this exposure a little bit, and let's try a different HDRI, maybe this one. Awesome. All right, and let's bring this floor up really close. All right, first of all, with all these selected, right, we're going to go over to our object properties, pop open shading, alt-click the cast shadow caustics, click on our floor plane, receive shadow caustics, double check all these, we're good to go. And then we just need a light source that's actually going to work with this. So light source, area light, and then we're going to go ahead and rotate this on the Y so it's facing like this, something like that. Looks perfect. I'm going to make this rectangular, scale it on the Z, scale it up a little bit more. We're going to make it nice and thin, and we're going to bring it back on the X so that it's right outside of our like our rendered area. Click on shadow caustics, and now we have caustics. Now with everything right here, I believe we should be good to go. We need an actual floor material as well. Also, I'm going to rotate the camera a little bit more this way. That looks good. Everything's looking pretty good so far. There's a little bit of like issues with the geometry right here on this piece, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. All right, let's actually make a cool floor material. So for the floor material, I love a nice grid floor shader. So let's go ahead and make one. In rendered view, I am going to first apply my scale to my floor. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out of my nodes here and add in a brick texture. I'm going to plug the color into the base color. Offset 0, height and width 0.2. Scale that down a bit. And then for our coloration, I'm going to make everything white. And then for this last color, I'm going to make it just slightly gray like that. Take my mortar size 0.05. Oops, sorry, 0.005. There we go. And that looks really fantastic. Let me go ahead and take my camera and let's really narrow in on this. Let's also enable some depth of field here and adjust the lighting even more. I'm going to select depth of field, select my cylinder. Everything's looking pretty clean. Let me also go ahead and double check where my floor is sitting. We're going to have it be right under our logo there. Fantastic. That looks really nice. Now, it's a little dark, and I think the reason for that is because our area light, if we go to our camera, is going to have to be up higher. It's going to have to be closer. Oh, it's only 10 watts. Let's make it 1,000. Now, let's make it 200. 100, maybe? Alright, we don't want it to be too much. Hold on. Also, this HDRI actually might not work. Let's try this one. Or possibly... Actually, I kind of like... The sky one wasn't that bad, actually. And then for our light, we're going to want to bring it right here. Hold on, let me just see something. Let me try this real quick. Why is everything looking... Why are these looking so dark? Oh, it might be my light paths. Let me check my light paths. No, it's not. Okay, weird. Still looks a little bit dark. You know what we could do, guys? We could take our area light, zero it out, and then we could rotate it so that it's facing directly up, like that. Actually, that didn't look bad there. Let's just see what this could look like. Kind of experimenting here, but this kind of looks interesting. Let's try instead of a rectangle, we'll just do an ellipse. Make that nice and circular. Actually kind of looks interesting. Huh. Didn't think it would, but it does. And if you put it inside of our shape, it's going to look even different. But again, we're going to try to keep that at a relatively good distance. It's actually inside of our object right now, but it actually kind of looks cool. I actually don't mind it at all. And the caustics coming from it actually look even cooler. So I kind of like it. I don't know. We might vibe with it, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? You know what else I want to try? I don't know how this is going to work or if it's going to work. But if we were to add a solidify modifier to this, to one of these. Let me just see real quick. Again, we could do an inner thickness. Oops. Yeah, I thought so. So it's going to mess it up a little bit, but I thought maybe it would make it look just a little bit nicer. That already looks fine. Camera, let's go ahead and double check on that depth of field again. If you zoom in on material preview, you can easily see your depth of field much, much better. I'm actually going to do this manually. That's just about perfect there. Cool. We'll do an f-stop of 8 so you can kind of really see the details here. Awesome. And again, let's zoom in there. That looks fantastic. Let's see. What HDRI are we using? Oh, yeah, we're using the Studio. All right. And then for our brick texture, we can raise that roughness a little bit. Now, for the actual brick texture itself, guys, another thing that I want to do is head over to the Shading tab. Kind of zoom in here on our brick texture, and let's give these ridges like actual depth. So in order to do that, we're going to add I believe we just add a bump node. See if I can test my knowledge here and remember. And I think you plug the FAC into the height, and then the bump into the normal. Yep, and then we have a little bit of a ridge there. And then if you adjust this little value right here, it's called mortar smooth. Yeah, there we go. So now you can adjust that as follows. The strength, you can adjust that as well, and the distance. That looks pretty good. Now it's like an actual grid floor with actual dimension, which looks good. It's kind of subtle, but it makes a little bit of a difference if you really, really look closely. And then what's great is you can pop up in this material tab, and you can adjust as needed. Cool. All right, for our camera, let me just go ahead and zoom in on our shot and see how we're looking. It looks good. I'm pretty happy with the way this came out. I'm thinking we even do some post-production in Photoshop. What do you guys think? Let me go ahead and disconnect my internet so my Photoshop doesn't get all buggy. We should be good here. I mean, it looks pretty clean. I raise my light paths a lot. Let's try like 500 samples. Denoising, we'll do optics. And then let me also take my light source and make it a little bit less strong, maybe like 50. And let me just see what happens if we move it up. Whoa, see what happens when we move it up? Whoa, look at those caustics coming through. That looks really good. Hold on. Let me scale it so that we're not getting, I don't know if you guys can see this. There's this little ridge here. It actually doesn't look terrible if you zoom out, but let me see if we can we still achieve that? I think we can. It does look good. Let me go to my color management here. Try medium high contrast. That looks pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm excited to say that I think we're almost there. Let me just mess around with the brick. Let me see what a darker background might look like. Darker background doesn't look bad, but it doesn't show those caustics as much. This doesn't look terrible. Maybe like a slightly off gray, so not every tile is exactly the same. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I think that looks pretty good. Let me turn off the 3D cursor as well. I mean, that pretty much is the render right there. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I think we did a good job. 3D logos are a lot of fun to make, and this one was a little challenging with the booleans. And yes, I know the modeling probably could have been a little bit better. The only last thing I want to try out is just changing this glass material. 1.5. So right now, this is a 1.1 IOR. That looks pretty good. This is 2, which is way too much. That's 1.1, and then the rest of these are 1.2. Let me just try 1.1. 1.1 isn't terrible. Now, the actual IOR of glass is, I believe, 1.45 or 1.5. But again, we're not really going for like ultra realism here. There's a slightly less bright, intense effect. It looks good though, especially when you really zoom in and you see the true details here in the glass. It just looks really clean. All right, I think we're ready to render. I think we should be good to go. What do you guys think? I'm going to go ahead and render this, and we're going to pull it into Photoshop. Let's go ahead and render this with 500 samples at 1080 by 1920. It's looking like it's going to take about 30 seconds or less. We're actually almost done. It's going to take about 10 seconds, and then we're going to pull it right into Photoshop and add just one more touch to this. Oops, sorry guys. All right, so that looks really good. Let me go ahead and save this to my downloads real quick. I'm gonna call this Google Logo 3D Raw, which means it's not been edited at all. X out of that, X out of this, save. Real quick though, guys, I do want to get a light leak. So I'm gonna turn on my internet. I'm gonna go and type in light ray black background. I'm just gonna show you guys a really cool trick. Just find one that looks pretty decent. Let's see. Find one here. I'm gonna show you guys how you can add a really cool light ray effect to your render. This one might work. Oh, it's too bad it has a freaking watermark on it. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. Let's try Unsplash. That's another website I usually use. Unsplash.com. Light ray. This one's kind of cool. Actually, I have that image. That's funny. Just keep searching for a second here. If we don't find anything, I actually might have one. It would be nice to find one on this actual tutorial so that we can use this. All right, I might have one. Anyway, let's X out of this. Let's open up Photoshop. Let me just make sure we're good to go. Cool, Photoshop. All right, so we're gonna open up Photoshop, pull our image in, and then we are going to add our light ray effect. So let me just open up my image from my downloads. Fantastic. All right, we got our image open up in Photoshop. I'm gonna go to File, Place Embedded, and then I'm gonna go to my random folder, which is gonna be right here. Where is it? Oops, sorry guys, hold on a second. Okay, where is it? I believe it's called MISC. I'm pretty sure I named it MISC. Ah, here it is. Sorry about that, guys. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna make these a little bit bigger so I can actually see them. And I believe I have a light leak in here that we can use, which is basically just like kind of like a light ray. So let me go ahead and take a look. All right, not seeing anything yet. There's a lot in here. Wow, I didn't realize how many images I had in here until we started exploring around. Wow. Let's see. Ooh, this might work. No, that won't work. Ooh, scratch. We have like lens scratches. Oh, this one's kind of cool too. You know what's funny? This might actually look good. Let's try it. Let me just zoom this out. So what's great about these images with black backgrounds is you can just click on your blending mode and click on screen, and it automatically will adjust as needed. Now, I don't think that looks good, but I'm just trying to show you guys how you can place these things in your scene here. Let's choose something different here. Let's choose... Man, I really thought I had a light leak. Sorry about that, guys. I really did think I had that in here, but I do not, I don't think. Either way, that was pretty much the tutorial for the 3D logo. I'm just kind of looking for something to overlay, make it look a little nicer. Now, this image is really nice, but again, we're not going to be able to... We're going to have to like really lower the saturation on this one if we want to use it. It's just way too intense. But you can kind of add like... See how you can kind of add in like a nice little effect on the inside here? It's kind of nice. And then you could create a mask object. Excuse me. And you could kind of mask out the areas that you don't want to be seen, like that. And that just looks really, really nice. It's just an added touch that I think looks really nice. You don't have to do this again, but you can. Also, you can adjust this with a hue and saturation layer. Let's see. You can make this like any coloration you want, or you can make it 0 coloration and just have it be black and white like that. And that is pretty much it. That's how you would add like that little light ray kind of effect. And I actually think didn't turn out too bad. I'm just gonna mask out the areas I don't want, which are gonna be like right around the surface here, just so that logo looks nice and clean. There we go. That looks awesome. Cool. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that overall. I think that looks really nice. So that was just a quick way to kind of finish that up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are getting a lot of value out of these tutorials. Please check out the Discord. Please check out all of my other YouTube videos, the Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. There's a lot of links that will be in the description below that you guys can check out. And, of course, the material packs that I'm usually using for my projects will be available below. There's going to be a link down below. All right, guys, you have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next one.